Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Tip Show. Of course, we take a look at every game week in the FPL, and I have a good guest with me, FPL Nym. Second time on the channel. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. Definitely, it's going to be better than the first time. Remember what happened the first time? So many problems, but yeah, we
And
got
that's
that
the
sorted
that's
out.
the joy of content creation.
Yeah, that's the joy of it. How's your season been so far?
Not too good, not too good. I haven't had the best start to the season, to be honest with you. It hasn't got much better since the last time I was on, unfortunately.
Yeah, and let's talk about game week 6. What are you expecting heading into game week 6? Is there a player you brought in that you're expecting to do well?
Yeah, so game week 6, it was okay for me. I got about 47 points, 43 of the -4. So did okay. My only defender to do anything for me was Sace. And in midfield, Rodriguez was a bit of a letdown. Brought him in as part of a -4 with Kane. Which, kind of worked out half okay. Salah was my captain, so a bit of a blank from him, which wasn't so great. Sonny was brilliant, obviously, with his 11 points. And yeah, I mean, Kane pretty much covered the -4 hit, but he didn't really do much else other than that. And Ings got me 10 points from his 2 assists. So, it was okay, but unfortunately, it was still a bit of a red arrow. As for game week 7, looking forward and things, I don't know. I mean, I think we'll be touching on the United lads a little bit later, so they're possibly ones to consider. Some of the Chelsea players are looking quite good now and things like that. So Zaha, I think, is one of the players out there that's kind of going under the radar a little bit. So did kind of consider him or J-Rod last week, and I kind of went with J-Rod, so it didn't work out as good as it could have done.
I remember 3 weeks ago I did a show with FPL TV, and I told him the one guy I'm going to bring in. The reason I'm playing my wild card is because of Zaha, and I'm so glad I brought him in before he scored those points. So I'm so happy
He's
to have him.
doing well, Peter. That's good.
Heading into game week 6, you brought in Kane and who else? Sorry.
J. Rodriguez, for Barnes and Mitrovic. So actually, it wasn't awful. Neither Barnes or Mitrovic did anything, thankfully. So, actually it was okay. In J-Rod, I just kind of traded like for like. But obviously with Kane, I got the assists. So, yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't your worst week, though.
Sorry? No, not my worst week, thankfully. No.
Awesome. So I'm guessing you're gonna stick with Kane and Rodriguez.
Yeah, I think I'll see it through. Obviously, Rodriguez is flagged at the moment, so I do need a bit more news on what the situation is with him. But yeah, no kind of real urge to sell just yet. Anyway, I'd like to try and give them 2 or 3 weeks if I can, and then think about it. Unless I have any major kind of news or gossip that kind of sways me.
Okay, let's get into your watch list. Any particular players you're targeting for game week 7?
Yeah, so I kind of touched upon the fact that I want to keep J. Rodriguez and I want to keep Kane for a couple of weeks. So at the moment, I'm going to probably roll if I can, as long as there's no major injuries appearing. That said, as I just mentioned, Zaha, the United boys, they're all looking quite good and they're on my watch list. If I can manage to roll this week, then I will. But they are definitely kind of up there with my ones in to bring in. So yeah, they're on the watch list. And if I can manage to roll a transfer, then 1 or 2 of those might come in and in a 2-player switch for game week 8.
Yeah, I actually played my wildcard in game week 5, and I didn't make any sub heading into game week 6. And I have 2 free transfers, but I have no one really I want to take out this game week. So
Yeah.
the transfer will just be a random transfer, maybe bring in a new defender for someone like I've had people like Reguilon at Tottenham, but he didn't play last week, so I might end up taking him out, something like that.
He
So
looked so good. I was shocked that he didn't start. I mean, could it have just been a bit of a rest rather than anything in particular? Quite possibly. So,
but
it might be worth keeping him a bit longer.
I really want my defender to play every single game. I usually don't like rotation. So let's get into the United boys. The FPL focus this week is going to be on United, and we are going to play them this weekend, and it's a game I'm not looking forward to because they're starting to look very good. Every decision is going their way. Their bench is looking very strong. So let's start with Rashford. Are you scared not owning him right now?
Yeah, I am. 2 goals and 2 assists so far this season in the Premier League, and obviously the hat-trick last night in the Champions League against RB Leipzig. So yeah, he is really looking quite a scary asset not to have at the moment. Thankfully, he's not too highly owned, so that's the one plus at the moment. But a good weekend for him against Aston, that could soon change.
Is there anyone you can really take him out for? Is there anyone in your midfield that if Rashford banged in a hat-trick this week, is there anyone you'd be taking out?
So my midfield at the moment, trying to remember off the top of my head, is Salah, Son, it is Grealish, Rodriguez, and who's my fifth? I can't even remember now. That's terrible, isn't it?
No City midfielders.
Oh no. I have Anguissa on the bench. So actually, realistically, Son is the only one that I could switch out, like with monetary wise, which I'm not necessarily keen to do. In fact, I'm on the Sonny 6, and he hasn't repaid all back 6 of his goals yet, so he can't go go anywhere. But yeah, I think I'm happy to leave it this week, even though I could easily see him doing something against us. And then with the 2 transfers, then I can maybe jiggle some funds around.
Yeah, you're actually right. He's only on by just over 7%, so it can be a differential. But his fixtures are not that easy. Arsenal at home, Everton away. He also has Southampton away, but West Brom at home in game week 9. They also have City coming, so it's not that easy. But if you're playing your wildcard today, would you bring him in?
Yeah, I think I would definitely invest in having a slightly more expensive third midfielder spot. So obviously at the moment I have Salah and Son, and I think that we are just in that moment of time where we can afford to be a bit cheaper up front and invest more in midfield. So I think if I was playing my wild card, I would go somebody 8 or 9 million, extra in midfield, and Rashford looks like the type of person that could go in there.
Awesome. The second one you're going to talk about is Cavani. Are you keen on him yet, or you need to see more?
I think I need to see a bit more on him, yeah. Yeah.
So is a no. If you had to bring him in, you wouldn't be part. If you had to play your wildcard, you wouldn't be part of that.
No, I think he's not necessarily nailed on either. Where I think Rashford would be, I'm not sure. Cavani is definitely kind of, quids in, yeah.
Okay, so that one is a no.
That's a no.
Okay, the third one is Fernandes. Interestingly, he was on the pitch yesterday, and Martial took the penalty, and he's kind of missed the last 2 penalties. So do you think he has lost those penalties?
I don't think so. I think from what I heard is that Ollie kind of marked Martial to take that as a bit of a confidence booster. So I don't think Bruno is going to lose his place taking penalties, though I don't know whether he'll necessarily be nailed on every single time to take them either. It looks like Ollie might, spread the love around a little bit, but you know what, Bruno still, though, 3 goals, 2 assists, that gives him an extra goal more than what Rashford's got so far this season, albeit, most of those have been penalties. So difficult, but he's that tad bit more expensive, isn't he? And I don't know, it's a difficult one. He feels the safe pick for that little bit of extra money, Bruno feels quite safe, I guess. But I don't think Rashford's going to get dropped anytime soon. So if I was between the two right now, I'd probably go for Rashford.
So if you had to play a wildcard, did you bring in Fernandes today?
No, I would probably lean towards Rashford.
Okay, the fourth one is Greenwood, of course, back into goal scoring yesterday against Leipzig. So is he a good option again?
So I actually had Greenwood at the beginning of the season, so I was way premature on that one. I like Greenwood a lot. I like him a lot in terms of being a good FPL asset. He's quite cheap. He's very similar to Foden in that respect, in that terms of kind of he's in the starting team, but he doesn't cost too much money, and he could be an easy way into that United team. But I would like to see a little bit more from him in the Premier League before considering him as an option. So if I was wildcarding today, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd probably go Rashford, but I wouldn't be in my position honest to you if I wasn't saying that in a couple of weeks' time, when it comes to deciding between Greenwood or Rashford, if Greenwood is looking amongst it again, and is scoring, then there is that that possibility that I would go with the cheaper option.
Awesome. And so it's a yes or no on a wildcard today?
Not today.
So it's only Rashford for you. Let's talk about their defense. Any defenders that of course, they're not that good defensively, but they've gotten Maguire's gotten
that bodes well for us, hopefully.
Yeah, he's gotten an attacking return recently. Maguire, Wan-Bissaka's also scored a goal recently. The last 3 matches, I think, like almost all the defenders have had attacking returns. So tell us the new defender, any of them that you're looking out for?
I'll keep an eye on them. They're watchlist potential, but at the moment I wouldn't be going for any of them. It feels very kind of attack minded, although most defenders in the Premier League at the moment feel like that. There aren't many clean sheets around, are there really? But yeah, I'm not mad to jump on just yet on their defence. I'm not ruling it out, but as you say, their fixtures are quite tough now for the next couple of weeks. So that would be just kind of leaning very heavily on them for attacking returns. And I think there are better attacking defenders out there in teams. So.
Awesome. So that was your FPL focus. Let's now get into the Game Week 7 preview. Any particular match you're going to have your eye on?
Oh, well, ours, obviously. That'll be.
I'm not looking forward to that.
No, neither am I. They would somehow manage to sneak a win, don't they?
Yeah.
I think, there's a few. I think City against Sheffield United could be a bit of a bloodbath.
Unfortunately, your Aguero is injured again.
Yes, I know. I am. In some ways, I'm kind of relieved after getting Kane. It could have been a lot worse for me if I'd had gone for Aguero and followed my heart. So in that respect, I feel a bit lucky, but also I'm a tad bit annoyed because their fixtures do get slightly better in a week or two, and it's going to be more difficult for me to get to KDB than what it would have been for me to go from Kane to Aguero. So a little bit kind of frustrated.
So
with
Sheffield
that.
and City. Okay, and which player in your team is like on a last chance saloon for you?
Grealish.
Yeah,
he's had he had a great start, and then I got him in, and literally when I got him in, he's done nothing since. So
same with me. One of those kind of players where when you don't have him, watching them is very scary because he seems to have all the chances, all the penalties.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get him, there's nothing he does. But he's been a bit unlucky. I think 2 chances cleared off the line in the last game, so very, very unlucky. So let's get into the captain picks for this week. What would be your captain picks for this week? Of course, there's Sheffield City, there's Liverpool, West Ham, United maybe, and Arsenal.
Yeah, so for me, it's just between three, and it has been now since last game week as well. Salah, Kane, and Son. They are my three captaincy options this week, and it was on Salah, default on Salah, and the only thing that slightly put me off is that little kind of that when he had the penalty midweek, apparently he might have picked up a bit of an injury. He kind of limped off the field, I think.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just put that seed of doubt in my head a little bit about whether or not I can kind of feel comfortable captaining, despite kind of owning both Kane and Son. For some weird reason, I think maybe it's just a head thing after selling Son for those two hauls. I feel kind of too nervous to captain him, which sounds ridiculous because, he's done well most weeks. Maybe it's just that I feel like I will end up cursing him or something. So
it's off a tough time.
Yeah. So I think probably between Kane and Salah will be, haven't quite settled yet. I'd like to get all the presses out of the way before I kind of nail my mast.
I've never trusted Salah. I know it's crazy to say, but even at the
Wow.
start of the season, I always prefer Mane ahead of Salah. But
Okay.
I always get Salah because of peer pressure. Like last week, I wanted to captain Son or Kane, but I was like, wow, Sheffield at home, everyone is going to captain him. If he scores the hat-trick like he did in the opening day, you're going to be left behind. Let me just captain Salah. Nothing. And then if I don't captain him this week and I go for Kane, he's probably going to score. So, yeah. So who would be your first, Salah?
Yes, it's on Salah at the moment, and I think unless I hear anything that makes me kind of wobble a bit more about that injury, then I think I'll probably stay with Salah.
So Salah, Kane, and Son. Any differential option?
Yeah, I think if you do have City assets, if you have Sterling, I'm going to talk about him a bit more in a minute, but he's a possible captaincy option for me. I see you're on it with the titles. He's my gem of the week. 2 goals and 1 assist this season, and 1 goal and an assist on Tuesday evening in the Champions League. As we said, up against Sheffield United, who've conceded 9 goals already this season. I think he could be a great captaincy option this week, and a bit of an out of the box pick. The other one was Werner. I think he seems to be kind of getting into his groove a bit now, doesn't he? So I think maybe he could be out there as a bit of a captaincy shout and a differential punt.
And any players that you wouldn't probably captain, but you are like a differential this week? Any particular players that, for me, I'd say Mitrovic. I think he has not scored. He scored for me in game week 1 and 2, I think, when I had him. Game week 2, sorry, but against West Brom, I feel like he's going to bang a couple.
Yeah, it feels like it's coming. So I sold him a couple of weeks ago as well, and I feel like it's only a matter of time because every week he's a bit like Grealish. Every week he looks incredibly dangerous. His stats are saying, that he should be scoring 2 or 3 goals every match. It does very much feel like it's coming. And West Brom being West Brom, you're right. It does feel like he could get a few past them.
Awesome. And I always do this, always ask a couple of questions before we end it. Question number 1, which game will have the most goals this weekend, or the most FPL returns attacking guys? There's Leeds against Leicester, there's United against Arsenal, Aston Villa against Southampton, Burnley against Chelsea.
I think it will be the Liverpool match.
Liverpool against Sheffield. And which 3 players will definitely score this weekend?
Definitely score. Whoa. Mane, because I don't own him. Probably Rashford, being in the form that he's in, and as I've kind of bigged him up as the gem of the week, I have to say Sterling, don't I?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for Rashford too, painfully again. I'm also going to say Aubameyang and probably Watkins at Aston Villa against Southampton.
Yes, nice shout. Good shout,
So,
that one.
thank you very much for coming on. Give your channel a shout out.
Thank you. It's it's FPL Nym.
Awesome, and you can go to Nym's channel. I'll have it in the description, and you can watch our Dream Team selection. That's just explain what that show is about.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a show about choosing the best 11 FPL players for the up-and-coming game week. So effectively, we're choosing the dream team, so the players that make the kings of the game week, as it's now called. And we're going to be trying to get more than 3 of those right, because that's all we've managed so far this season.
I'll be going for 5, so you can go on our channel and watch that replay. Thank you for watching, everybody. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.